Hello, dear listeners. Today we talk about our morning routine in English. We will show how to speak safely and clearly about daily topics. I will give many examples and we will learn the most important phrases and words. Everyone learns step by step.
That sounds great. I think many beginners really want to talk about their day, but they do not know how. I know that feeling too.
That is normal. It can be hard to speak about your own routine or hobbies
Why did you choose this topic for today?
because morning matters to everyone. Whether getting up, breakfast, or the way to work, we talk about it almost every day. When you know the right words, you feel safer. I also think that English has many clear expressions that you can learn easily.
True. I remember a talk with a colleague about our morning. She asked me when I get up and what I do early. I felt a bit nervous because I was not sure how to explain my routine.
Oh, please tell us more. Our listeners surely know that situation too.
She asked me many questions. For example, if I eat breakfast or drink coffee first. I understood a lot, but I did not always know how to answer. After that, I learned keywords like get up, have breakfast, and shower. Since then, I practice.
Very good example. We want to make exactly those situations easier today.
Which topics will you cover first?
Our plan has 4 parts. First, we talk about getting up and the first minutes of the morning. Then we cover breakfast. After that, we speak about preparing for work or school. And finally, we talk about habits and small morning routines. Step by step, okay?
Sounds clear. I am ready.
Perfect. Before we start, I will explain 3 helpful rules.
Oh, exciting! Please share them.
First rule, speak slowly and breathe calmly. Second rule, repeat important words so they stick. Third rule, ask back questions like, do you get up early? Or do you eat breakfast in the morning? This way you avoid misunderstandings. And when you talk about daily life, it is important to be clear. These rules help in many talks about the daily routine.
Thank you. That is very clear.
With pleasure. Do you have any questions before we go deeper into the morning routine?
Just one. How can I politely say I do not understand something when someone talks about their day?
Simply say, sorry, I didn't understand. Could you please repeat that? Or shorter, once again, please.
Great. I will remember that.
Maybe our listeners want to practice right now. Say the sentence aloud with us.
Yes, join in, folks. Speaking aloud helps a lot.
Fantastic. That was the introduction. In a moment, we start with part 1, getting up.
I am already excited.
Before we begin, I want to ask our listeners something. Which topics make you feel unsure, or what should we talk about in our next podcast? Please write it in the comments.
Good idea. I think these questions also help other learners.
Absolutely, community makes learning easier.
Peter, can you give one short example of an easy question about the morning routine?
Of course. For example, when do you get up? Or what do you do first in the morning? These are typical everyday questions.
I see the structure is often question word plus verb plus subject. That helps.
Exactly, very well observed. We will return to these patterns later.
While you maybe grab a glass of water, I repeat the 3 rules once more. Speak slowly. Repeat key words. Ask follow-up questions. This way, everything becomes firm.
Very good, Penelope. Your learning style is exemplary. Maybe some are already pausing the podcast to repeat. That is perfect. Are you ready for the first part about getting up, Penelope?
Absolutely, Peter. I think many learners are curious now.
Good. Imagine your alarm rings in the morning. What do you say first about your morning?
Maybe I say, I get up at 7 o'clock.
Perfect. That is clear and simple. You can also say, my alarm rings at 7.
And if I am very tired,
Then you can say, I am very tired in the morning. Or, I need time to wake up. Many people also use an alarm on their phone in the morning.
true. Sometimes I press the snooze button again.
Exactly. Then you can say, I press the snooze button again.
I do that sometimes 2 or 3 times.
Many people know that.
After I wake up, I sometimes stay in bed a bit longer.
Then you can say, I stay in bed for a few more minutes.
And after that, I get up slowly.
Very good. The most important verb here is get up. Get up is a phrasal verb.
That means one part of the verb can come at the end, right?
Exactly. For example, I get up at 7 o'clock.
And if I get up earlier,
Then you can say, I get up at 6 o'clock. Or, I get up very early.
and if someone sleeps for a long time,
Then you say, I like to sleep long. Or, at the weekend I get up later.
I do that on the weekend too.
Many people have a fixed time to get up during the week.
For example, because of work or school.
Exactly. Then you can say, I have to get up at 7 because I must work.
That is a very typical sentence.
Another sentence is, I wake up at 6:30.
What is the difference between wake up and get up?
Good question. Wake up means you are no longer asleep. Get up means you really leave the bed.
So first I wake up and then I get up.
Exactly. And
That makes sense.
some people start their morning very quietly.
What do you mean?
They open the window first, stretch, or drink a glass of water.
Then I could say, I open the window first in the morning.
Exactly. Or, I drink a glass of water first.
That sounds very natural.
Many people also say, my morning does not work without coffee.
I hear that very often.
Then you can say, I need a coffee first in the morning.
Very good sentence.
These are typical sentences when you talk about your morning.
How can I remember these sentences best?
Think about your own morning. Describe step by step what you do. Read the sentences aloud and repeat them every day.
Good tip. This way I link the words directly to my daily life. Ah, that makes sense. Do you have a complete sample dialogue from start to finish?
Yes, the text lies in front of you. You play yourself at work, and I play your colleague. Let's start.
Good morning.
Good morning, Penelope. You are very early today.
Yes, I usually get up at 7 o'clock.
Really? I only get up at 7:30.
Oh, then you do not have much time in the morning.
That is true. I shower quickly and drink just one coffee.
I usually eat breakfast at home. After that, I get ready for work.
What do you usually eat for breakfast?
Often I eat bread with cheese or cereal with yogurt.
That sounds healthy.
And you?
Honestly, I often do not eat breakfast.
Really? Then you must get hungry soon.
Yes, about 10 o'clock I am usually very hungry.
Do you drink coffee in the morning?
Yes, without coffee I cannot wake up properly.
I know that. I also always drink a cup of coffee.
And what do you do after breakfast?
Then I brush my teeth, get dressed, and drive to work.
How long do you need in total in the morning?
About 1 hour.
That is actually not so long.
No, my morning routine is quite simple.
Interesting. My morning routine is rather chaotic.
Maybe you just need a bit more time in the morning.
That could be.
Great. That was very helpful. I could follow everything and understood all.
Great. Dear listeners, please pause the podcast and repeat the dialogue.
Yes, speaking aloud makes a big difference.
One more tip. Use gestures. Point at your watch when you talk about time. That helps you remember the words.
Good idea. The word is linked with a movement.
In the next section, we talk about the bathroom routine.
Exciting. Before we move on, I want to ask our listeners something. Have you ever spoken about your daily life in English? If yes, what was hardest for you? Write us your examples.
I'm sure your stories help others. And remember, mistakes are normal. Every step moves you forward. Now we talk about the morning routine in the bathroom.
Oh yes, I have waited for this, because it is an important part of the morning.
Very good. For many people, the bathroom is a fixed part of the morning routine.
What do most people do in the bathroom in the morning?
Many people start by brushing their teeth and washing their face. This helps them wake up and feel fresh for the day. After that, many people take a shower or have a quick wash. Some shower every morning, others only every second day. Many then brush or comb their hair. Using deodorant, putting on cream or shaving also belong to the bathroom routine for many.
That sounds very familiar. I do those things in the morning too. Which words should I learn first?
Here are 5 important words for the bathroom routine in the morning: toothbrush, toothpaste, shower, mirror, and towel.
Toothbrush is for brushing teeth, right?
Exactly. With a toothbrush and toothpaste, you brush your teeth in the morning.
I always brush my teeth right after getting up.
Many people do that. After that, many go to the bathroom and shower.
I usually shower in the morning because I feel more awake afterwards.
Many feel the same. A shower in the morning helps to start the day properly.
After that, I usually look in the mirror and get ready.
Exactly. Many people then comb or brush their hair in front of the mirror.
And after that, I dry myself with a towel.
Right, the towel is of course also part of the bathroom routine.
I already see that many of these words are used every day.
That is why they are so important. When you talk about your morning routine, you need these words very often. Yes, gladly. My bathroom routine is actually quite simple, but it helps me start the day well. After I get up, I first go to the bathroom and wash my face with cold water. That makes me a bit more awake at once. After that, I brush my teeth carefully. Of course, I use my toothbrush and toothpaste for that. This usually takes 2 or 3 minutes. Then I often take a short shower. I don't shower long each day, but a quick morning shower helps me feel fresh. After the shower, I dry myself with a towel. Then I use deodorant and sometimes a face cream. After that, I stand in front of the mirror and comb my hair. Sometimes I also have to shave, but I do not do that every day. When I have finished everything, I get dressed and prepare for the day. My bathroom routine takes about 15 minutes in total. After it, I feel awake, clean and ready for the morning.
Thank you, Peter. That was very clear. Do you have a few tips on what to watch when speaking about your bathroom routine?
Yes, sure. A good tip is to tell the steps in the right order. For example, first get up, then go to the bathroom, then brush teeth or shower. If you give the order clearly, other people can understand your routine better.
That sounds logical. So tell it step by step.
Exactly. Another tip is to use simple verbs. Words like wash, shower, brush teeth, comb, or shave are common for the morning routine.
True, I really hear these verbs often.
You can also use time words. For example, first, then, next, or finally. These words help to structure your routine clearly.
That makes it easier to see what comes first and what comes later.
Exactly. You could say, first I brush my teeth, then I shower. Finally, I comb my hair.
That sounds very natural.
One more tip is to add small details. For example, say if you shower cold or warm, or if you play music in the bathroom.
Oh, that is a good idea. Then the description becomes more personal.
Exactly. And that makes talks more interesting.
I think our listeners can practice this now.
I think so too. Dear listeners, try once to describe your own bathroom routine in English.
Maybe you can even speak aloud.
That really helps with learning.
And it is also a bit of fun.
Good, Penelope. We finished the bathroom routine. Now we go to another important part of the morning.
Let me guess. Now it is about clothes.
Exactly. Now we talk about getting dressed and the wardrobe.
Oh, this is a topic that gives me problems sometimes.
Really? With what exactly?
Mostly with the colors. When someone says the blue trousers or the green t-shirt, I pause.
That is normal. Colours are not always easy at the start.
And sometimes I do not know the names of the clothes.
No problem. We will look at that now step by step.
That sounds good.
First, we talk about the wardrobe. The wardrobe is the place where you keep your clothes.
So my trousers, t-shirts and jackets.
Exactly. Many people start their morning by opening the wardrobe and thinking what to wear today.
I know that well. Sometimes I stand there and do not know what to put on.
That happens to many people. Then you look at your clothes and think what fits the weather or what is suitable for work.
Peter, quick question. What does suitable mean?
Good question. Suitable means that something is good for a situation. If clothes are suitable, they match the place or the activity.
So, for example, for work.
Exactly. Imagine you work in an office. Then a shirt or a blouse is often suitable for work. Jogging bottoms would maybe not be suitable in many offices.
Ah, I see. Suitable means matching.
Exactly. Matching the situation, the weather, or the place. You can say, these clothes are suitable for work, or these shoes are suitable for a walk.
That helps me a lot. I think I have heard the word often, but never really understood it.
That happens often when learning a language. You hear a word many times, but the exact meaning becomes clear later.
And how do I say that something is not suitable?
Then you can simply say, that is not suitable. For example, these clothes are not suitable for a meeting.
That is actually very logical.
Yes, many English words are very logical. You just need to hear and use them a few times.
When I stand in front of my wardrobe in the morning, I often think about the weather.
Exactly, many people do that. When it is cold, you maybe put on a jumper or a jacket. When it is warm, often a t-shirt is enough.
And if I do not know what to say,
Then you can use very simple sentences. For example, today it is cold, so I put on a jumper.
that is a good sentence.
Or, today it is warm, so I wear a t-shirt.
I see that the verb wear is also important.
Very good observation. You use the verb wear a lot when you talk about clothes. You can say, I wear black trousers today.
Or, I wear a white t-shirt.
Exactly. These are perfect everyday sentences.
Sometimes I also hear people say, that goes well together.
Yes, that means the clothes are a good match. For example, blue jeans and a white t-shirt go well together.
That sounds simple and practical.
Exactly. When speaking about clothes, you do not need to be complicated. A few easy words are often enough.
I already feel a bit more confident.
That makes me happy. Clothes are a topic we talk about almost every day.
True, especially in the morning when you get dressed.
Exactly. Therefore, it is worth knowing these words well and using them often. Good, Penelope. After we talked about clothes and the wardrobe, we go to another key part of the morning routine.
Let me guess. Now it is about the kitchen.
Exactly. Now we talk about breakfast and what many people do in the kitchen in the morning.
Oh, that is good. In the kitchen, I hear many new words, but I do not always understand them.
That is completely normal. In the kitchen, there are many items and many verbs. But if you know the key words, you can talk about your morning very well.
I think coffee is the most important part of the morning for many people.
Absolutely. For many people, the morning only really starts with a cup of coffee.
Me too. Without coffee, I am still half asleep in the morning.
Then you surely know the sentence, I make myself a coffee first.
Yes, I say that often.
Very good. The verb here is make coffee. You can also say, I prepare coffee.
What does prepare mean?
Prepare simply means you make something ready so you can eat or drink it. So you can say, I prepare my breakfast.
That is a good word.
Now let us look at what many people do in the kitchen in the morning. First they go into the kitchen, then they maybe make coffee or tea.
I mostly make coffee.
Then you maybe take a cup from the cupboard.
Yes, a cup for the coffee.
Exactly. A cup is the container you drink coffee or tea from.
And what is a pot?
A pot is a bigger container. In one pot, you can make several cups of coffee or tea.
Ah, I see.
After that, many people take something to eat. For example, bread.
I often eat bread with cheese in the morning.
That is a very typical breakfast in Britain. Bread, cheese, maybe also jam or honey.
I also often hear the word roll.
Exactly. A roll is a small piece of bread. Many people buy fresh rolls at the bakery in the morning.
That sounds tasty.
Now we talk about some important items in the kitchen. For example, spoon, fork, and knife.
I know these words, but I sometimes mix them up.
Then we explain them very simply. A spoon is a piece of cutlery you use to eat soup or yogurt, for example.
So a spoon for cereal or yogurt.
Exactly. If you eat cereal in the morning, you need a spoon.
And the fork.
A fork has several small prongs at the front. With a fork, you eat pasta, salad, or pieces of food.
And the knife is used for cutting.
Exactly. With a knife, you can cut bread or share something on the plate.
Sometimes I find it hard to remember these words.
There is a good trick for that.
Oh, I love learning tips.
Just imagine the situation. You sit at the table and eat breakfast. A plate is in front of you. The knife is on the right, the fork on the left, and the spoon above or next to it.
Ah, so I just picture the table.
Exactly. If you see this scene in your mind, you remember the words much more easily.
That is a good tip.
Many people learn words better when they link them with pictures or situations.
That is true. When I imagine eating cereal, I automatically think of a spoon.
That is exactly how it works.
What else do many people do in the kitchen in the morning?
Many prepare their breakfast. That can be very different. Some make a slice of bread with cheese or jam. Others eat cereal with milk or yogurt.
I sometimes also eat fruit.
That is also very typical. Many people cut an apple or a banana in the morning.
Then you need a knife.
Exactly. Then you can say, I cut an apple.
That is a good sentence.
Another typical sentence is, I pour myself some coffee.
What does pour mean?
Pour means you move a drink from a pot or bottle into a cup or glass.
Ah, so I pour coffee into my cup.
Exactly.
I think these verbs are very important.
Absolutely. Verbs like cut, eat, drink, cook, or pour are typical kitchen verbs.
I notice that I can use these words every day.
That is exactly why they are so important for everyday talks.
Peter, now we have spoken about many words. About coffee, breakfast, spoon, fork, and knife. Would you be so kind and tell us about your own morning in the kitchen?
Yes, gladly. My morning routine in the kitchen is actually quite calm and simple. After I get dressed, I first go into the kitchen. The first thing I do is coffee. Without coffee, my day does not start right, so I take my coffee machine, add water, and make a big cup of coffee. While the coffee is running, I usually open the fridge and think about what I want for breakfast.
That sounds very organized.
Most of the time, I keep my breakfast simple. I often take 2 slices of bread from the bread box. Then I get butter and cheese from the fridge. I take a knife and first spread a bit of butter on the bread. After that, I put a slice of cheese on top. Sometimes I take jam instead of cheese if I want something sweet.
So sometimes you have a sweet breakfast and sometimes a savory one.
Exactly. That changes a bit for me. While I prepare my bread, the coffee is usually already finished. Then I take my cup, pour the coffee and sit down at the table.
Do you drink the coffee black or with milk?
Mostly with a bit of milk. So I take the milk from the fridge and pour a small splash into my cup. Then I stir the coffee with a spoon.
That sounds like a very typical morning.
Yes, I think so too. While I eat breakfast, I eat my bread and drink my coffee. Sometimes I also eat a yogurt or a piece of fruit, for example, an apple or a banana.
Do you use a knife for that as well?
When I eat an apple, I sometimes cut it into small pieces with a knife. Then I eat the pieces with a fork or simply with my hand.
That sounds very relaxed.
Good, Penelope. After the bathroom, dressing and breakfast, we reach the last part of our routine.
Let me guess. Now we talk about leaving the house.
Exactly. Now we talk about getting ready and how to leave the flat in the morning.
That is also an important moment. I sometimes fear I forget something.
Many people know that, so we will look at some typical verbs and sentences now.
Sounds good. Which verbs are important?
A very important verb is get ready. You can say, I get ready.
What does that mean exactly?
Get ready means you prepare everything before you leave the flat. You put on your shoes, take your things, and make yourself ready for the day.
Ah, so everything that happens right before leaving.
Exactly. A typical sentence is, I get ready and go to work.
That is a good everyday sentence.
Another important verb is put on shoes.
Right. Before I leave the house, I always put on my shoes.
Exactly. You can say, I put my shoes on.
The verb separates again, right?
Correct. The verb is put on and the word on can move.
So, I put my jacket on. Or, I put my shoes on.
Exactly.
And what do many people do after that?
After that, they take their most important things. For example, their keys, phone, or bag.
The key is really important.
Absolutely. Many people ask in the morning, do I have my key with me?
I ask myself that often too.
A typical sentence is, I take my key with me.
And if you forget it,
Then you have a problem. You stand in front of the door and cannot enter the flat.
that happened to me once.
It happens to many people. So many check again before they go.
So, something like a small check.
Exactly. Some people even say aloud, phone, keys, wallet.
That is a good method.
Yes, it helps you remember better.
Peter, I really had trouble for a long time distinguishing flat and house.
Yes, many learners feel the same. That is quite normal.
That even happened to me once in a conversation. I wanted to say that I leave my flat in the morning and then go to work. But I kept saying house. So I said, I leave my house, though I live in a big building with others. People then looked at me a bit strangely. One person even asked, "Oh, you live in a house?" I was confused at first because I did not understand why she asked.
Yes, that is a very good example.
Only later I realized that I should have said flat. I meant my own flat, not the whole building. At that moment, the difference was not clear to me, so people did not understand me at once.
This is exactly how small misunderstandings happen in daily life. With such words, it is important to know the meaning very well. I will explain the difference to you now slowly.
Yes, please. That would be really helpful.
So, a house is normally the whole building. If you see a detached building where one family lives, that is a house. A house can also have several floors. The point is, the house is the complete building from the outside.
So really the complete building.
Exactly. A flat, by contrast, is only one part of a house or larger building. If you live in a block, many families share one house, but each has its own flat.
Ah, now it is much clearer.
Very good. Picture it like this. The house is the big unit, and your flat is one space inside. The house may have a front door, a staircase, and many flats. Your flat then has its own door, a living room, a kitchen, and a bedroom.
The idea of the house door and flat door helps me a lot.
Exactly, that is a good memory rule. The house door belongs to the whole house. The flat door belongs only to your flat. When you leave your flat first, you walk through the flat door. Then you may still be in the staircase. Only after the house door, you are outside the house.
Ah, that is really a great difference.
Yes, and that is why you can use both words in one sentence. For example, in the morning I leave my flat first and then the house. Good, Penelope. We talked about leaving home. Now we come to the next step of the morning routine.
So now it is probably about the way to work, right?
Exactly. Now we talk about how people get to work or school in the morning.
That is also a topic people often discuss in daily life.
Absolutely. Many talks start with questions like, how do you get to work? Or, how long do you take?
True. I have heard these questions many times.
There are many ways to reach work. Some people drive a car, others take the bus or the train, others ride a bike or even walk.
I also hear the word traffic a lot. What does it mean exactly?
Traffic means all vehicles and people moving on roads and paths, so cars, buses, bikes, trams and even walkers.
Ah, so everything that moves on the street.
Exactly. When many cars are on the road, we say there is a lot of traffic.
And when the road is full.
Then we say there is heavy traffic or there is a traffic jam.
I know jam. It means the cars cannot drive well.
Exactly. The cars then stand in a long line and move only very slowly.
Peter, how do you actually get to work?
Today I mostly drive to work by car.
Why by car?
For me it is more practical now. I live a bit outside the city and by car I need about 20 minutes.
And by bus, it would take longer?
Yes, much longer. By bus I would first walk to the stop, then wait and sometimes even change.
What does change mean?
Change means you move from one kind of transport to another. For example, you first take a bus and later a train.
Ah, I see.
That is why the car is the most comfortable solution for me now.
Was it always like this?
No, not at all. When I was a student, I almost always went by bus or by train.
Really?
Yes, as a student I had no car. Also, my university had a good bus and train network.
That sounds practical.
It was. I just walked to the bus stop in the morning. Then I waited and rode about 20 minutes.
Did you use the time on the bus?
Yes, sometimes I read or listen to music. Sometimes I just looked out of the window.
That sounds quite relaxed.
Yes, it also had advantages. I did not have to watch the traffic because I was not driving.
That is true. When you drive a car, you must always be alert.
Exactly. While driving, you must watch the road, other cars and the traffic lights.
Traffic lights are the lights at the crossroads, right?
Right, red means stop, green means go.
And yellow?
Yellow means the signal will change soon.
I know that from my town too.
Very good. When I drive to work today, I often listen to music or a podcast.
That probably makes the way nicer.
Yes, the time passes faster.
Do you sometimes have a traffic jam as well?
Sadly, yes, especially in the morning there is often much traffic.
Then the trip is probably longer.
Exactly. Then I maybe need 30 minutes instead of 20.
That is a big difference.
Yes, but that is normal for many people.
Some also go to work by bike, right?
Yes, especially in cities that is very popular. Many people say, I go to work by bike.
That is also good for health.
Absolutely. You move and reach work at the same time.
And some even walk.
Exactly. If you live near work, you can say, I walk to work.
That is probably the most relaxed way.
For many people, yes, you get fresh air and move a bit.
Peter, I see that the way to work is a big talking point.
That is true. People often speak about how long they need or which transport they use.
For example, I go to work by bus.
Or I drive by car every morning.
Or also, it takes me 30 minutes to work.
Exactly, these are typical sentences for small talk.
I think our listeners can now also talk about their way to work.
I am sure of that.
Dear listeners, think about how you go to work or school in the morning.
Do you drive a car, take the bus, or maybe ride a bike?
Try to describe your way to work in English.
For example, I go to work by bus every morning.
Or, I walk to work and need 10 minutes.
Exactly. These are perfect everyday sentences for talks in English. Good, Penelope. I think we are at the end of our episode today.
Yes, Peter. Today we spoke about the morning routine, about getting up, the bathroom, clothes, breakfast in the kitchen, and the way to work.
Exactly, these are things people talk about every day.
And I think you can use these sentences very well in daily life.
Absolutely, if you repeated our examples aloud, you can now talk about your morning in English much better.
We hope so, at least.
If you like our podcast, please give it a like or subscribe.
Right. Then you will not miss new episodes.
And write in the comments which topics interest you.
Maybe chats at work, in a restaurant, or while shopping.
We love to read your ideas.
Peter, I have one more question.
Sure.
Many people learn English with our podcast. Maybe they also want to read or practice more.
That is true. I have written texts and small books for English learners for a long time.
Really?
Yes, I have many stories, dialogues and exercises, but I have never published them.
I did not know that.
So I wanted to ask our listeners, would you be interested in something like that?
So, in small books or texts for learning English.
Exactly, with simple stories, dialogues and many examples.
That sounds very interesting.
If you would like that, please tell us in the comments.
Then we will know if you are interested.
Exactly, your opinion is very important to us.
Thank you for listening again today.
We are happy if you join us next time.
Have fun learning English.
And see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.